Nuke-It Best podcast. It's me, Jet, with my co-host, Big fucking Cock Orange right here.
Big
and today,
Cock Orange.
we are breaking down the Call of Duty Major 5 tournament going in to the qualifiers going into the Major. And just going to talk about how it went. So, Big Orange,
I mean,
start us off.
No bias, but like a little bit of bias. But like, bro, Optic, we're just insane.
Absolutely
right now.
dominant
We're fucking
major.
dominating.
Dominant Major, 5-0.
Whole other level. And honestly, we had pretty hard qualifier. Like our qualifier was like fucking tough. Like looking back at it, we played Vegas, we played FaZe, we played Surge, Ultra, and ended off with Florida yesterday.
All teams.
And all of them we pretty much 3-1, 3-0, except Legion, who actually pushed us to the end. But
that wasn't an expanding map. That was an expanding map pool game. So
yeah,
understandable.
Actually, the whole qualifier has been expanding map pool.
But like, I mean, just all the other games, just those other teams that we played, were all top teams.
Yeah.
Like currently in the like CDO points might be a little bit different story, but like currently, they're all top teams.
Yeah.
Especially like Florida might be kind of like a what? What do you mean by that? But it's like they started kind of hitting their stride towards the end of the major, and especially this qualifiers. So so that was a really good win out of us.
Yeah. I mean, going back to like Optic and being 5-0 in this qualifier, the last qualifier we were 5-0, and then went to the LAN event, and then I mean obviously we lost, so that sucks. But better days ahead. Honestly, that was a Mickey Mouse LAN event.
Agreed.
Nothing against the Thieves, everything against the Thieves actually.
Agreed.
There's no fans. I think if there's fans there, I think we do get the edge a little bit. But we trolled against the Thieves last LAN, so hopefully we could get it back in blood this time. I believe we start. I mean, we could take a look at it later, but I believe we played Florida.
Okay.
Round 1, which
they are kind of the kryptonite. They're like a top
the
2
LAN
kryptonite.
kryptonite.
Yeah,
LAN
definitely.
kryptonite for sure.
We definitely just played different against them for some reason.
But then the next top team in qualifiers, FaZe. I'll kind of touch on it a little bit.
Yeah.
4-1, pretty good out of them.
Pretty good.
Hardpoint slowly stepping up, not a big change, but slowly stepping up.
I don't know what they did. Maybe working on some rotations, maybe working on just some clarity in the comms, but their hardpoint has definitely stepped up a big step.
Yeah.
A big jump between last qualifier
and honestly,
and this qualifier.
Bro, it's pretty much just been the Abizi show. Like, it's crazy, bro. And I'm gonna just tell everybody out there, like, in my opinion, I think Simp's better than Abizi, but this year so far it's been Abizi, and I don't know what's going on with Simp.
Yeah.
I mean, today he had a phenomenal. I mean, 42 and 18.
Dude,
that's some shit I do.
That's
probably some shit that Chops does too.
Yeah, that's probably just what Chops does.
Yeah, I think that 4-1 is a really good start for them going into the LAN.
Yeah.
But I will say I don't really know who they played. I know they finished yesterday against Breach. I think they 3-1'd them. Simp had a day.
Yeah.
And honestly, if Simp steps up for this team, on top of Abizi doing what he does, it's over for everybody. It just doesn't matter.
100% agree with your take on the, Simp is overall better than Abizi, and like out of all the games they play together, but definitely in this game, I think Abizi is he's the guy that is constantly putting up the numbers, and keeping them in these respawns especially. But when Simp has his games like today, it's an absolute takeover, and they win it every time. They're gonna win it.
Yeah,
if he's doing that.
All they got to do is just keep, getting that hard point where it needs to be, and then S&D's doing fine right now. I mean, I will say we have seen FaZe lose a couple S&Ds to some teams, so it's bound to happen. You obviously can't go undefeated the whole time, but, they did it. So, going to the opposite side, this is where Chops would probably be on a team at the Ravens.
Yeah, the bottom ass, shitty-ass teams.
I don't want to touch on this for too long because they're fucking, terrible.
They're dog shit. They're fucking terrible.
I don't know what's going on over there. It's nothing against the guys. They got good talent.
Yeah.
Like Asim's a beast. Yuli's they're all good.
Asim's
but
very, very nice.
It's just the org or the team. They just don't mesh well.
I think it's like they're not really like in the same place. They're all kind of spread out.
No, fuck.
They have no funding, no nothing. They're barely playing together most of the time. So it's like
it's tough, bro. It sucks too because I think halfway through the year they knew it was over, and obviously they're not going to champs.
Yeah.
They've already been disqualified, I guess you could say, or they just haven't even. They won't be able to get enough points.
And on top of that, not only did they get not qualify for champs, they also went fucking 0-5 in this qualifier. So it's just a more insult to injury. They're just in a terrible place right now.
Yeah. And even an even worse place here is LAG.
Yeah. Agreed.
They actually weren't that bad middle of the year. I mean, they're a team that can compete in hard
They
point.
had some good matches.
And that might just be because of the rookies coming off, from challengers. But yeah, no, they're terrible. Ultra like literally 3-0'd.
Yeah, they're bad.
DoorDash in Mr. Ake's words, like DoorDash challenged them bad.
Yeah,
like I think Scrappy after all that was literally just giving them the look like you guys suck.
I went to the bathroom, took a quick shit break, came back, and it was already over. It was just so quick.
So that's not ideal for LEG.
Yeah.
Obviously, they are also not going to champs, along with Chops, because Chops fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Shout out Chops. But no, their LEG's done. The only thing left for them to do is maybe get a major win.
Yeah.
Get a good placing. Maybe get some money. Don't maybe not even finish last.
Maybe win a bounty match or something.
Something, bro. At this point, just win a map.
At this fucking point.
Just win a map.
Win a fucking map.
But yeah, that's about it. I didn't want to touch on all the teams right now because we will here in a second. But we talked about some of the top teams, the worst teams, qualifiers overall. I guess we'll go back to it.
I think it was a pretty solid qualifier.
It was good. It was enjoyable. I'll let you kind of talk on what you thought was cool about it, or what you thought was interesting, and what surprised you from teams.
I mean, I think what's one interesting thing is 8 out of the 12 teams went positive in overall match win record in this major. Optic obviously went 5-0, and then FaZe went 4-1, but then the next 5-6 teams all went 3-2.
Yeah. So
everybody was winning matches, and it's just gonna be crazy. But in the bottom 4 teams, they were far and away the bottom 4 teams, 1-4, and the Ravens going 0-5, capping out for the bottom. And the thing that was the most surprising though was the Thieves.
Yeah, I mean,
fucking 1-4.
Yeah, you got to do better.
Last year's champs winners, and just winning an event recently.
Yep, the last event.
Coming into this qualifier, I was like, oh man, they could be a scary team to play against. 1-4.
They're getting shit on, and I don't just because we like Optic doesn't mean we hate Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, the Thieves and Optic thing is a pretty good rivalry, I guess you call it. But I don't know what they're doing over there. They got to fix it. The way I've seen it recently is if Kenny and Octane aren't doing
their 1.4s,
1.3s, 1.2s, then I don't see these guys taking out a series against a top team. I mean, They could straight up just take all the top guys or the bottom guys out, but not the top guys.
Especially if you don't play them on their favorite maps.
Yeah.
You got Envoy. You'll always get an Envoy Masterclass if you play them on Hydro.
Yep.
You will lose that map. And then, if as long as you're, besides Optic, if you play them on Fortress, Octane always plays really good on Fortress. And Hotel is also a really good map for them. So, if you stray away from those maps, these guys are very easy to beat.
Yeah.
So far this major.
I want to talk about Minnesota because hats off to them because they've been I'll just say it. They've been a shitty booty team
They've been a
year.
shitty ass team.
They've been terrible. And honestly, I don't think it would have happened this way if they didn't if they made the right roster moves, they would have been way better off. They finished 3-2?
Yep, 3-2.
They finished 3-2. They beat the Thieves and they beat Ultra today, which are big wins for them. I forget who else they beat.
And who did they bring back into the roster that set off the catalyst?
That sexy motherfucker.
Mr. Dylan Attach. That motherfucker is back in the league, back on the team, starting role, and one of my favorite guys to bet on, Fame.
Dude, you fucking love Fame.
Hit by the way today.
Yeah, if you guys are paying attention to TikTok, bro, this guy
he hit today.
He's giving you free squares.
Free squares, bro. Free squares on the TikTok, bro. Go check it out.
Just go. Listen, Price Picks hasn't gotten to us yet.
But
hey, in Price Picks, if you're there, come get us. But
can't have it.
For right now, we're giving fucking free squares out. We're combined, we're 6-7 or 7-1. So Minnesota, very typical. They beat the Thieves, and then they go and beat Ultra today. They actually beat Ultra 3-2. I actually thought they beat them 3-1, so I apologize for that. But 3-2 is still pretty crazy on Ultra. And Ultra's actually stepped up really good. Like I said, if it's not for Kleenex and Hixie, if it's not for Hixie performing decent, Hixie does good,
he's
then
the
Kleenex does good. Yeah.
When Hixie has a decent series, even that team is very, very dangerous. But
when we know Scrap's probably the rookie of the year.
Scrap is going to drop He's probably going to drop a 1.1.
He's been the most consistent player probably in the league
100%.
So far.
100%.
And I do think Minnesota should expect big things. On the other side for Legion, it's not looking good right now.
Yeah,
I mean, this is a team you don't want to go 3-2 and end up in winners. And not only that, but if you're Legion, you're playing. I believe they're playing FaZe in winners.
Terrible first setup.
So
terrible first match.
Good luck to them. I think Rocker plays. Do you know who Rocker plays?
I have no idea at all.
Let's see. We'll get to it later. See who Rocker plays, but yeah, Legion. They're gonna have to make a good deep run on this. But I do see Minnesota. I do think Minnesota can win an event now with Fame back on SMG.
Yep.
There's nothing against Afro. Afro's a great player.
Very good SMG.
But I do think they needed Fame on SMG and Bance on SMG.
And I think they also just needed someone like Attached to kind of just anchor.
And they need somebody that can take over the comms.
And sit on site, soak that time, hold AR lanes, throw down the trophies, and then just sit there.
And I think also, too, if they slow it down, that's going to allow Cammy and Attached to just sit there. Because Cammy and Attached, bro, they're just
slower
ARs.
players.
Yeah. But
for sure.
I guess the next thing we'll get on to is tier list. We're going to do a tier list today, so I'm actually kind of excited for that.
Tier list, here goes.
We're going to pretty much rank all the teams, S being the best and D being the worst. Now, the way I want to do this, I mean, we could change it throughout everything, but what should S be? Should we do like
I'm thinking
one
like
or two
one or
for
two
S?
S.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 or 2 S.
That's fair.
And then everything else is whatever.
Yep.
But then I think we should make a tier under D, which is the Ravens.
Yeah.
The Ravens are fucking actual butt ass, and they're terrible. They deserve their own tier.
So it's like that off
for fucking Ravens. Yeah.
It's like that off.
You need to fucking go into settings. Go to fucking settings and add a new tier. That is
fucking
shit ass Ravens. Fucking make that a tier.
Bro, Chops might be able to solo the fucking Ravens right now, bro.
Chops could probably win before the Ravens.
No, he definitely could. I could probably do it too.
That's what I'm saying. I don't like
I guess we'll leave
with my fucking toes. My toes play better than the Ravens.
I feel so bad, but yeah, we'll start with Ravens.
Except Asim.
Why are Ravens in D though?
Ravens are in D. I mean, they just. If I could just give them the bounty money, fucking straight off the rip, give them the $20,000, and they still wouldn't fucking take a map. Like these guys they can't pay for a fucking.
They can't buy
a map win, match win. Like, God forbid a fucking major round win.
It just looks like they're giving up.
Yeah. I think it's a big mental thing as well as like a gameplay thing. Like
they know they're bad, and
they know they're bad. They know they're the worst.
It's too late in the season to make a roster change. They don't have the money to make a roster change. Exactly. Honestly, I don't even know if this team will be a thing next year. I don't even know if the Ravens will be a thing. We'll talk about the Mutineers because they're actually going to be changing soon. But
it's just like the Ravens. It's like not only are they so fucking shitty, it's like next season they're not going to get more money and more funding. Mm-hmm. Like they're kind of going to be stuck in this position for a while.
Yeah,
until
they're going to need like
a god tier challenger players.
Yeah, like just a complete game changer.
Just something to happen.
But we'll go Boston Breach.
I'm thinking.
I say we go like
B?
top of B, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like that.
So we go top of B. To me, I don't think Boston's terrible, but
I like what they've done with the team recently. You know, bringing back in Vivid.
Yeah.
He's a really fast SMG player. He's not going to be the guy that's going to drop like the high KD.
Mm-hmm.
He'd probably go negative a lot, maybe 1 KD, but he's going to be that guy that's flying in, fucking getting the first pick, trading himself and shit, and really just pushing the pace of the map. And you have guys like Crimp on the team who kind of is a duo to Vivid, and then you have Beans and Awakening who are just really, really solid ARs. Like, I mean, Beans is a superstar AR in my opinion. I think that team is on the up and up. If it was before Crimp and them, Crimp and Beans, I would have had them down at C.
Mm-hmm.
But recently, with Crimp, with Vivid back on the team, with Beans, I would definitely have them in the B tier.
Yeah. I was gonna say, to me, the roster change is a little bit weird because you have Nero, obviously, really good in this fucking league.
Very good.
To me, I don't mind Crimp. I think Crimp is really fucking good.
Yeah.
And it's tough to say, do I want Vivid and Crimp, Nero and Vivid, which we haven't seen much success in the past, or do I want Nero and Crimp, which could be too fast paced, and you lose that guy who's constantly flying, giving comms. So I don't know what to think of this squad because I want Nero in the team, but just where does he go? You don't want to switch him to an AR.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you do? So for me, I think Breach is going to be interesting in the offseason. I think they have trade power. I mean, that's not really a thing that's used often.
Yeah.
But, like, you got Nero on your bench. Go get a star AR player. Or you have Awakening and Bean, so technically you don't need an AR. But you can go get an SMG that
like,
can
bro,
be that vivid role.
someone like ASIM, someone like
Yeah, exactly.
like on these bad
Like
teams.
I would take
like
ASIM and
or something like that.
I would take ASIM and Kremp or ASIM and Nero because to me I think ASIM is kind of like Vivid in the fact that he could pop off on your team and get all your kills, but also die a lot, but also make big plays like taking routes and doing shit like that. So
I just think Boston is in a really particular, like a specific situation to where they could kind of like feed on some of these bottom teams and pick up a missing piece that could make them like bump them into A tier or into maybe even S tier if they get someone.
It's just
really
it's hard to say just for this team just because they've had like no success. I mean they've had early online qualifier success, but that's about it. We'll move on to FaZe though.
FaZe, I mean,
right now. So here's what I'll say.
I don't know. It's
here's
hard.
What I'll say.
ARS, but it's.
I think.
It's like how.
I think you got to go S here.
I think so as
well.
Like,
we'll put them in S for now.
The reason I would agree with that as well is because they've always had really good S&D this year. Like they've been a top S&D team or the best S&D team the whole year.
Yeah.
But then I think one thing that makes them really scary and has bumped them, in my opinion, from like the number 1A to an S team is their improvements in hardpoint this qualifier.
Slightly,
but just a slight improvement to where they actually are stealing hardpoints is a big difference, making this team a lot scarier in this upcoming major.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, FaZe, they're no lower than A.
Yeah.
You kind of summed it up perfectly. I really don't have anything else to say on that. I mean, they're doing what they're doing, and they just need to. I think they got to overcome a mental or whatever you want to call it against Optic, a bad matchup, because you're gonna have to play them at some point.
Yeah. I
mean, with the way Optic is, you're gonna have to play them at some point, and you can't go into that series knowing that you haven't beat them all year. Yeah. So you got to figure that out. And their matchup against everybody else is pretty much good. I mean, LA Thieves is a little bit shaky. I mean, that's kind of back and forth, and same with Ultra. Actually, FaZe has pretty much owned Ultra all year. So,
yeah, agreed.
Yeah, we'll keep FaZe in S. We'll probably bump it down. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
The Mutineers or the Miami Heretics is what they're apparently called.
That's a terrible. They should stick with the fucking.
And here's kind of what sucks too is recently not Miami. Oh my god, I'm gonna call them Miami. Right. Florida, like they've been playing really good recently.
Dude, these past like 3 matches.
And unfortunately, I believe they can no longer make champs anymore.
Yeah,
which sucks. So shout out Florida for like trying in that last chance effort, but just too little, too late, and
they just had a terrible first 3 majors. The 4th major, I agree, C 100%, but major 4 didn't really do much. Major 5 came in, they really tried to put some life into this last major.
Yeah,
but like you said, too little, too late. The team is, okay right now. When they had Havoc on the team, he was the guy that was always super consistent.
Yeah,
but
I think a lot of people forget too that he's not even on this team. So exactly. You think if he was, some of these series go a different way?
Yeah, agreed.
I guess we'll never know.
But then they have guys like Vickle was super disrespected. Like that guy is so good.
He's different.
Honestly like if he was on.
I mean, he's pretty much. I will say he does have a roster spot next year with Miami Heretics.
I mean, I would say if you put him on a B and up team, like he would escalate almost every single team.
Yeah,
except the top 2 teams that already just had superstars in all positions.
Yeah, so he played pretty decent against Optic. I mean, nobody on Florida really played good, but technically it was close, close hardpoint, close S&D, and then a close control. I'm gonna put Florida C. I just don't see them any. I don't think they beat Breach, and I don't think that Ravens beat Florida. So
got it.
I like them in C right now. LAG
I would also, in my opinion, before you say your thing, I would put them in C, and I would put them currently right now, I would put them right behind Florida.
LAG
in C.
Yeah, I like that too. And I think LAG's pop off, like if they come out and fry, it's the best of all these lower teams.
Agreed.
Because like the Joe Deceives Exceed thing is just insane.
It's like they have a good, like they low key have good guys, and they have a good roster that I could see with a little bit more like synergy. Yeah. Just like a little bit more chemistry.
They need somebody who can consistently pop off for them.
It's
like if you add a Havoc or if you add a Nero to LAG, I think they instantly get way better because you got a good AR duo.
Yeah.
And Assault and Arcides, maybe you can get an AR who can beam a little bit more,
Yeah.
like a Dashy, like a Celium. But other than that, I mean, this is where they need to be.
Yeah.
They're also not going champs, and
it's just like
it sucks because it's another bad year for LAG.
yeah.
And
So I mean,
it's
add
honestly
to
just
the
another
fucking
bad
tally
year
sheet.
for all these teams.
Yeah, like those bottom 3 teams that we have in the C and D tier, I've just been.
Well, and it's also they just don't get no love.
Yeah, they've never really been good. Don't have much funding.
And actually, too, LAG's
much
not going to be a
opportunity.
team either. I believe with the Guard, who's the parent company, laying off pretty much all their people. I don't think. Yeah, it's not looking good for these bottom 3 teams.
Yeah.
We'll go on to LA Thieves though.
LA Thieves.
Now, here's the thing. I think there could be some controversy on this.
I have 2 spots for them.
Major 4 champions. They beat Optic, but from that you chain it and you go 1-4 in online qualifiers.
Yeah.
Now I get it; it's only online, and LA Thieves been bad, but for a team who's won the major,
you can't jump down too far.
You can't go 1-4. And Ultra did it.
Yeah.
But Ultra's not in the best spot either right now.
Yeah.
And I will say, I know I'm an Optic fan. I know there's probably some bias, but Optic has gotten back-to-back seconds.
Yep. And going 5-0.
And gone 5-0 in those online qualifiers.
Agreed. Yep.
So there's consistency there. It's not just an online thing. So with that being said, I'm gonna go Thieves in A.
Yep. Agreed.
Now I do think this gets mixed around eventually.
Yep.
But I like this here. I think they could beat all these teams.
Agreed.
And I don't think they beat FaZe as much.
Like
as
that
FaZe
one is
beats
more
them.
of a toss-up, but it's like currently right now. Like I think if there was like an extra day of qualifiers and you put Thieves up against FaZe, I think Thieves run away. FaZe run away with it.
And it would be close, but it's just all like the thing is, I don't like Thieves their hard point recently has been really shit. Like you literally just lost to
the Mutineers, didn't they?
The Mutineers in hard point, and then you lost to Rocker in hard point today.
Yeah, so
or not today, but the other day.
Can't have that happen. Not for a team that just won a major.
Fuck no.
Definitely not.
So so A tier's fine. In respect to Thieves, you guys are fucking gross, but just not right now.
I don't know what happened. Maybe there's just something going on to where maybe comms aren't as good as they were, or maybe I don't fucking know. Maybe some ping error or some shit like that.
An
but
ego issue.
Maybe they think they're just too fucking good after coming off that major 4 win.
I think I'll say what it is.
They just need to fix it going into the actual major.
If a team really wants it, and I know Thieves, I know all these teams really want it, but like, you got to look at a team like FaZe, or Optic, or even Ultra maybe.
Yeah.
Even though they did go 0-5, but you like after winning an event, you have to stay focused because you could drop off so fucking far, and that's not just because you're not scrimming. That's just because you feel like you already won something. So what else do you have to do?
Yeah.
So I think that's a problem for Thieves is like they feel like they don't have to do anything else, and they should have gotten more than 1-4 in this fucking qualifier.
Especially as the major 4 champions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
NYSL. Now listen, I'm gonna touch on this real quick, then you can go. But NYSL like right now is weird because they could go. I still feel like they can go out and win champs. I think they're the legitimate dark horse to win champs.
Yeah.
And I know dark horse is supposed to be like the shit team, like maybe the Legion or the Rocker, but or even Surge, but like they could legitimately go out and win this.
Yeah.
And it's not because they need an overperformance; they just need to play good together. Priesta, drop a 1.1.
Yeah.
Hydra, do your 1.4s, and Skies, do your thing. But like, they could actually come out and win this thing, Major 5, and then chain champs or however it's gonna go. But they've already won an event this year. I mean, call it the first stage, call it fucking learn it faster than everybody cheese.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna put NYSL right in front of Breach.
Top of B. I was gonna say top of B or bottom of A. I think it's just they're on that line right now between B and A.
Yep.
And I think the big thing that would put them in A in my category would be just a little bit more consistency through the majors.
Yeah.
Like if we're looking through all the majors, more consistency with placements, online qualifiers, would really bump them up just that extra bit. But like even with the inconsistency that they have, like that team is still stacked. They will still like every single team that's under them, right? Like those bottom 4 teams that are under them, I think NYSL smashes them almost every single time.
And also, I know today, Breach did beat NYSL 3-1, but I just don't like the decision out of the coaches for NYSL to put Wardy and for Skies, because to me that's like, okay, I get it. You're trying to give a sub opportunity, but also do you fear that Skies is going to be playing for Major 5 or Champs? Like, they should be getting as much reps as possible.
Agreed.
You're not an Optic. You're not the FaZe. You're not the Thieves where you could do that. Like, Optic could give somebody rest for one day if somebody gets sick. But NYSL, you're not in the place to be doing that right now. And I'm not saying you guys aren't going to call for Champs or do it. I'm just saying that reps is really good to have.
Yeah.
And to lose to Breach, and we'll look at it later, to get an even worse seeding in the bracket
is not worth it.
Is not worth it. And we'll see who they're matched up against. I think I have an idea, and I believe it's Ultra.
Yeah.
And it would have been Ultra instead of, like, I think Legion. I could be wrong.
Yeah. But
yeah, it's just not a good situation. I would have liked a better decision out of them.
Play call to the coach.
Yeah. So we'll go to Rocker. Rocker to me.
Yeah.
And I know they're still in champs contention, but I just don't see them beating anybody above them.
Agreed.
And I barely see them beating these two teams right here.
I mean,
the way Florida's been playing against this Rocker now.
I would honestly move Rocker below Florida.
Well, here's why.
I don't know.
Here's why I disagree, because
I think
they played really good today, and they played really good this split.
With the role change, with attach back in the roster, I think that team could even push into the bottom of the B tier. But the thing is, I mean, that C tier right now it's like all three of those teams could either come out and 3-0 each other, 3-2, reverse sweep. Like that, like those three teams are just so close, in my opinion.
Yeah. That
you gotta kind of keep them all in the same tier.
Yeah. Here's another thing too. I think when you match up these teams, Rocker's SMG duo is going to be way better than Florida's, because Banta is a very ratty player. He's very slow. He plays weird shit. And if you have Capsule just running around the fucking map, he's going to win that gunfight 9 times out of 10. Exactly. And then you have Fame, who can match Capsule's, aggressiveness. And even Vickle, he's kind of like Bance in a way, but he's just a little bit more slay heavy than Bance is. And I just think Minnesota beats this team in every fucking time they play.
Yeah.
At least now, not in the past, but I think this team now would beat them every time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna keep Rocker over them. Not necessarily up and B, just because you don't get to go 3-2 in a split and instantly B and B.
Yeah.
With
Agreed.
Guys like Breach and so on.
Agreed.
Ass.
Top ass.
Joking.
There it is.
Yeah. I guess I'll give reasons of why they're in A or S. I mean, number one, you're back-to-back 5-0s and all in qualifiers.
10-0
like
qualifiers and 2 majors.
Like we've already mentioned. The hardpoint domination.
Yep.
Then you have controls kind of getting a little bit better. Yeah. And the number one thing to me is map pool.
Agreed.
Embassy is popping up everywhere. And that's a really big deal.
We've kind of closed in every map in mode.
And to me, it's looking like the Thieves of last year, where they just
are hitting form towards the last 2 majors.
They're hitting the form towards the end of the year, and they had rough roster issues during the year.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that they beat every team below them.
Yeah.
I think they could do it multiple times.
And
there's not much to say. I mean, that's all you can say. There's not much to say.
The big thing, the one thing that I like to see the most in a team is consistency.
Yep.
And when you go 10-0 in online qualifiers, you do get second at the previous major, which is nothing to shy away from. But coming to this next major, being 5-0 in the major in the qualifiers again, coming into the major right before champs, like, it's a really good sign. I think they're the team that is in the best spot.
Yeah.
So I mean, Optic number 1.
Yep.
That's what I have.
Surge, I think this is pretty easy. They're going to be on the B tier.
Yep.
And I'm probably going to put them behind Surge.
Agreed.
I feel bad for Pred, though, because this guy does it all and they'll still lose.
Yeah.
And I think a little bit, I mean, people can sit here and blame accuracy in Mac, but also I think Sib needs to be on that level with Pred, to where you're dropping the 1.1s at least to 1 KD every time.
At least.
Because with Sib, you're one of the best ARs in the league, and you're one of the most kill-heavy ARs in the league. There's no reason you should be dropping under a 1 point.
Agreed.
1.0. As for Mac and accuracy, accuracy, we understand he's the role player, IGL. Mac is kind of the same thing, but an SMG. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be getting kills. That doesn't mean you shouldn't be winning games. And yeah, just get Pred some help. I do think the reason they're ahead of Breach for me is just because of Pred's pop-off ability.
Agreed.
And if anybody else on Surge performs, they win
Yeah.
against a lot of teams.
And the reason I have him under subliners is because I think the subliners just have more
I think
of those
Hydra
Pred-like players.
Yeah, I think NYCL is a glorified Surge.
Yeah, it's like they
Because
have the
you
Hydra that matches the Pred.
Yep.
But then they have the
Slay Heavy Skies who can match
Sib. But then I think where they really win that matchup
is because
is the Kismets and the Priestas that beat out the Max and the accuracies.
Yeah, it's just a glorified Surge.
Yeah, agreed.
Ultra.
I would put them in A. Yep. I think I'll put them below Thieves in my
Give some
opinion.
respect to Thieves. Yeah.
Give some respect to Thieves. They did go 1-4. You know, just a fucking.
But Ultra even went 0-5.
Yeah,
so.
they got waxed in their qualifiers. But I mean, at the end of the day, both those teams have won majors. Both of them have performed really well.
Yep.
But Thieves have done it more recently, and I think because of that, you gotta put them above Ultra.
Yep.
Currently.
I mean, Scrap's doing what he does. We talked on it. For me, the way I look at it is Hixie's got to perform, and if Hixie does his job right, then I mean Kleenex is going to be dropping. Yeah, Kleenex is going to be dropping a 1.4.
Yeah,
every time, and with obviously Scrap doing good as well. And honestly, I don't think it matters how Insight does in this team because it's not what it comes down to.
Yeah,
it's literally Kleenex.
Like his performance, his performance can only make the team infinitely better.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've seen those series where.
Insight takes over on S&D.
Like I forget who they were playing. There was one Mercado map, and he was the game leading killer.
Yeah.
In the lobby.
You want the Cold War. You want the Cold War.
They actually blasted that team.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like Insight when he plays good, it makes his team just so much better because, like you said, Scrap, he's always gonna do that. He's always gonna have those. Every game he's gonna play, he's gotta have good stats. But then it's like the Hixies. You need him to do decent so that Kleenex can do his job. But when Insight does it for everybody, I mean that team is just gross. They're absolutely disgusting.
Okay. I'm just gonna say it. This is my hot take kind of this tier list.
Okay.
I do think okay. They don't agree with me. Let me explain.
Okay.
Obviously they beat the bottom 4 teams.
Agreed.
I do think they beat Breach. I think recently, Standy and TJ Temp, either of the two, mostly Standy though, has been really good for this team. Is a great midseason pickup, and it just makes this team better in hardpoint.
Yeah.
And they have a legitimate shot in SD.
Yeah.
The only problem being control, and that's a real problem for them. But then again, look at these next 3 teams: NYCell, Surge, and Breach. These teams aren't like crazy in control. Yeah. They're beatable, and I think Legion pulls those out every now and then. I think the other 3 teams probably win more controls.
Yeah.
But I think Legion win more S&Ds straight
Agreed.
up, or even hard points. So
yeah,
I don't think they're better than Ultra. Thieves.
Definitely not any of those
Optic,
top 4 teams, but
I do think right now they're really good.
I think,
and they're back in winners bracket
again.
Now keep in mind they have never been in winners bracket in the CDL era.
Yeah.
This is the second time they've been in a row. They're kind of on that same stride as Optic,
except there's like an echelon below.
Yeah,
there's a tier below.
Exactly.
And like
I think they could honestly. I think they could win a major. They would be my dark horse to win the major.
Yeah.
Right. Not to win champs, but dark horse to win the major. I don't think they win champs. I don't think there's a chance they win champs.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not even locked in for champs yet. So, yeah, I think it's just fucking sketch right now with a lot of these teams in the race for champs. I think it's actually just Rocker, Legion, and Breach right now. And then possibly
because
Seattle.
I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, that Optic, FaZe, LA, and Ultra have all already secured spots. And NYCL.
Yeah.
Secured spots. And then Ravens,
Surge pretty much locked,
and LAG have all been eliminated.
Yep.
So there's 4 spots, 3 spots left, right?
Yep. So I kind of like this bracket. I don't feel like anything needs to be changed. I don't know if you feel that way, but I kind of like it.
I definitely have Legion at the top of B. You know, like you said, with Standy, that midseason pickup, really what they were missing was a fragging SMG. Like that guy that can come in and get the kills, just be a nuisance on the map.
Yep.
They have him. Agreed. They have the guys like Donald Temp, who just
Donald Temp.
he just rips, bro. He just rips people. They have Clayster as their IGL, the guy who just calls the shots, and they had TJ, who is the S&D Masterclass god.
Yeah.
And that really just that addition of Standy really just glued the team together.
Agreed.
And put them in the spot to where they can go to winners bracket
and to me,
for the
this
first
is
2
their
times in
ceiling
CDL
right
history.
now. Like I feel like, and it's kind of sad to say, but
Yeah.
Legion's ceiling is the team they have now, which is good. That's not a bad thing. But it's just like with the players you have, you don't get better than what you have now.
Yeah, agreed.
That's simple. But yeah, I think this is going to conclude our tier bracket.
I like it.
We're going to move on to the pick'em bracket. How are you feeling? Like, do you feel good about it?
That looks stunning right there. Gorgeous.
All right, let's get on to this then. I fucking did the wrong one. My fault. Guys. My fault.
There we go.
All right. So we got the motherfucking ham sandwich.
Major 5.
So I guess how we could do this is we'll go from top to bottom.
Yep.
We'll try to do them in order as best we can. I don't know where the seedings go exactly.
Yeah.
Read out the teams and who's playing who real quick.
Okay, so for winners or losers?
Start from the top.
Okay, so we start out with Optic versus Mutineers. Then we got Breach versus Rocker. FaZe versus Legion. Ultra versus Subliners. And then, Thieves waiting for us. Thieves waiting for a game. Ravens waiting for a game. Search for a game. And Girls for waiting for a game.
All right. So, yeah, I guess we could just kind of see how this works as far as, I don't know where everybody goes.
Yeah.
Let me see in past brackets how that works.
Yeah.
I believe it's just...
I just... looking at this bracket right now is my first take looking at it. It's looking like the win...
Okay. So how it works is the top team, let's Mutineers Optic.
Yeah.
Loser that would play Thieves, and then, it goes down from there.
Cool. Perfect.
So, we'll start with Optic versus Mutineers. This is going to be... This will be the DoorDash Challenge.
And I'm going to call it right now. It will be the DoorDashy Challenge.
I was going to say the same shit. It's going to be a Dashy masterclass.
Absolute masterclass.
He turns up when he goes to LAN.
Especially the first series of LAN.
Yeah.
Especially against a shitty booty ass shit team like Mutineers.
Yep.
He's gonna have a masterclass. Dashy is, the straightest shooter in the game.
I'm the straightest shooter in the game, but yeah.
Sheesh.
And got that Super Mario. Yahoo!
Yahoo! And Optic's gonna take this series in a 3-0 fashion.
Not just a 3-0 fashion, but a DoorDash
in a
challenge.
record-breaking 3-0 fashion. the fastest series win in CDL history.
Yep. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. Okay. Now we'll kind of be able to keep you guys up. You won't be able to see it here, and we'll probably end up editing in. But if not, we'll just fill you in with what's happening. Then we got the Boston Breach versus Minnesota Rocker. This is gonna be
a close game. Very close game.
Grade 1. Oh, well, what is Scum call? He called a A1 bang out, grade 1 bang out,
bang out,
some shit like that. Dude. It was fucking weird. I don't know.
It's just these teams are so closely matched, especially with the roster moves, just the tweaking in the Rocker camp, that this is gonna be a very close matchup.
Yeah.
I can see this one going either way.
Yeah, and this is gonna get good too because of the Beans and the Fame thing. Challengers, they know each other. I'm gonna take
rivalry there.
I'm gonna take Minnesota.
I was also taking Minnesota.
I'm gonna take Minnesota in a 3-1. I think this is one of those series where Breach are just they're probably gonna be playing it close the whole time.
Yeah.
And they're really not gonna. I feel like Rocker will be in control, but Breach will be keeping up. And I think Breach take one map. I'm probably just gonna say the S&D because Rocker's been looking iffy on that. Yeah. Obviously because there's new teams, so I'm gonna roll with Rocker 3-1.
Okay.
This is gonna be probably the fucking Fame masterclass.
Yes. I also agreed. I was gonna take Rocker as well. I don't know, from what I've seen from these past 2 series of the Rocker playing with the role switch,
it's impressive.
They just look so night and day better.
Yeah.
Just a full tier better. So because of that, I will also take Rocket 3-1 against the Breach. Dropping Breach down.
I don't even want to fucking talk about this one because it makes me sad.
Jesus.
Go Legion, by the way. But FaZe versus.
But FaZe, it's FaZe. I'm taking FaZe
versus Legion.
I'm taking FaZe in 3-1 fashion. I I think the Legion, never mind, 3-0 fashion. They're not taking the S&D. It's going to be a 3-0. It's not going to be a DoorDashy challenge. It's going to be more of a closer 3-0.
Yeah.
One of those where it's like, it looks like at some points Legion could win the map, but I think it's going to be a 3-0. I think FaZe, they've improved their hard point enough to where they can steal a map, especially the map 1. I think they're better than S&D, and I mean, I think when they win the first 2, they're going to win the control and end it off there.
Listen, I'm going to take Atlanta FaZe getting absolutely curb stomped by the Las Vegas Legion.
Did not see that one coming.
Now listen, I'm not saying it probably won't actually be a curb stomp, but I do think Legion's going to steal these hard points, and this is going to be a 3-1.
Okay.
I think Legion steal the hard point, and I think they either steal the S&D or the control. I'm going to bank on the S&D because they have a better chance at that, because their control is very dog shit. So I think they go hard point, S&D, lose the control, and then they win the hard point. For me right now, I love the way Vegas play hard point.
Yeah.
Just the aggressiveness out of the ARs is really good, and I don't think FaZe is going to be able to match that, especially with Slasher. S&D is going to be the question mark, though. I mean, if FaZe win that S&D, it goes game 5. And then I don't know from there.
Yeah.
As far as map sets go for this, Legion are going to have to square with FaZe on their maps. But I do have Legion winning this. That doesn't mean FaZe. That doesn't mean you guys are done for the tournament because I have a plan for you guys. But I'm taking Legion 3-1. You took FaZe.
I took FaZe 3-0.
Yeah. So we'll agree to disagree on that one.
Fair enough.
Ultra versus Subliners. This is what we're talking about.
This is low-key another bang out.
Why are they playing Ultra? You don't need to. You could be playing Legion right now. In that case, I like Subliners against Legion because Subliners are a better hardpoint team. This is going to be an Ultra 3-0.
Yeah.
This is going to be not a DoorDash challenge, but it's just this team's not going to be able to compete with Ultra, especially on the map set.
Agreed.
Ultra's good at hardpoint. They've been struggling a little bit on S&D, so that'll be a good matchup. Control, they're going to win, and this will probably be it's going to be a 3-0, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I think Scrap is going to, when that Ultra team comes to land, they just bump it up another notch, and I think Hicksy's going to do his job, which is going to allow Clank to do his job.
Well, I hope he fucking does his job. You guys are going to be fucking first ones out of the tournament if you don't do your job.
Exactly. They're going to get rounded if they do his job, but yeah.
Okay, going to losers round 1. It should be the Thieves versus the Mutineers.
This is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to. I think I'm gonna roll with my gut and say Thieves.
Yeah.
I respect what the Mutineers have done these past couple games, but I just think the Thieves are just better.
Yeah.
Even at a 1-4 state that they're in right now that we've seen from qualifiers, they're just better still.
Yeah, they're better. And also I do think Thieves take it. But I do think Mutineers, and I'm going to just say this because if it happens, I want to be on their side, kind of. The Mutineers match up with this team pretty good as of recent. They're going to square up on Hydro. It's going to happen. And last time they played, Mutineers won that. S&D is going to be the game changer for Thieves. Their S&D has been pretty solid. Mutineers also beat them in the last S&D they played.
Yeah.
And you could pretty much give the control to Thieves already.
Yeah.
So... yeah, I'm going to roll with the Thieves. Probably, I'll take a Game 5 Thieves.
Okay.
But don't sleep on Florida. I think they can make a run. But unfortunately, Florida, your year comes to an end.
Get the fuck out the bracket.
And it sucks, too, because, I mean, if you're going into a major, knowing that you need to outplace another team, you might get that extra juice. But not today.
I don't see it happening. Not with this run right here.
Breach versus Ravens. I don't even care what happens in this fucking matchup. I'm not going to say too much.
I mean,
it's going to be a breach.
Care what the fuck happens. It's going to be breach.
It's going to be a breach 3-1. Ravens will win the S&D, and we'll call it a day. There's nothing crazy. It's just straight up.
No implications.
It's just a win.
It's just a win.
It's just a good win.
I mean, breach is in a very interesting spot here. It's where it's like they're going to move on to at least the second round. No matter what, if somehow they beat Rocker and go to winners round 2, they do that there. If they lose, they get a free win to move to elimination round 2 against the Ravens. They're in a pretty good spot.
Legion, no, I'm joking. FaZe versus Surge. This has been such a good matchup all year. I mean, just every time they play, it's a good matchup. Unfortunately, though, I do have Surge's run
coming to a fucking end.
And this is where shit's going to get interesting, though, because with not having champs locked in, you get placed 12th again, and the only team you beat on LAN since June or January is LED. And that's just not a good look. So I don't like the way they look right now.
Yeah.
And this is gonna be
on LAN. They play kind of defeated.
Yeah, this is gonna be a phase 3-1.
Yeah.
I think Surge take the hard point. FaZe get the rest.
Agreed.
Yeah, I just don't know what to say. It's tough to say for Surge right now. Haven't seen anything out of him that I like, besides a Pred 2.5 masterclass.
Yeah, exactly. But he's gonna do that every once in a while. But that's not gonna save them.
Yeah. LAG versus Subliners, kind of like the Boston series. This is probably gonna be a Subliners 3-0.
Yeah.
Might be a DoorDash challenge. I mean, I might have to invest in my game on this one.
Dude, I might have to be serious, guys.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna agree. I think Subliners take it.
Yep. I'll take Subliners 3-0.
Yeah. I'll second that. I just
suck on that.
Second that.
Oh.
Making a lot. But I just don't see it happening. I mean, LA Gorillas is defeated. They might. I mean, it could go 3-1. I think they could steal maybe a control and lose stuff, and then lose map 4. But yeah, that's a done and dusted.
So going back to winners, this makes me a little bit nervous. But Optic versus Minnesota, good old fashioned square up. Dylan Attach, it's always been pretty good against Optic. This gets a little scary here just because I think he knows how to play against these guys, and he could teach Fame and show them, like, and even Bance knows how to do it too. Yeah. So,
but with saying that, Optic 3-1,
Optic 3-2.
Oh, okay. You give me an extra map. What other map are you gonna give them?
Game 5. I think this is gonna go. S&D is probably gonna end up being either a hotel S&D or it's going to be a fortress S&D. I'm going to bank that the last map's probably a hotel. It's probably go the distance. It'll probably be like a 6-4 win for Optic. But yeah. Game 5 Optic.
Okay.
Go to the next one. For me, it's Legion versus Ultra.
I'll just roll with what you were going with. I like
that. Rocking? Okay.
I can do that.
Yeah. So Legion versus Ultra. Standy versus Scrap.
We know what happened last time.
We know what happened last time.
But with saying that.
Don't bug it though. Yeah. This will probably be an Ultra 3-1. I do think Legion do go down to losers, but it's not bad because you did make it at least one round in winners. Yeah. Scrap's gonna take this 3-1 straight up. There's no crazy shit happen. Just a Scrap doing what he does, and this is Ultra 3-1.
Yeah, I think Ultra kind of is big brother to Legion.
Yep.
Like, it's not one of those things where they get completely out, like, this, like, shitted on.
Yeah.
But it's just, like, one of those things where you're just not surprised. You're like, yep, Ultra won that.
Agreed.
You don't waste much time on it. No shed tears. It is what it is.
Yeah. It was like one of those things where it's like, dude, we just got outclassed today.
Yeah. It's just one of those things. Just like that. There's no, like, oh, damn, I thought we were going to win. It's just like, nah, you lost that one.
All right. We're going to losers round 2. It's going to be Thieves versus Breach. Or no. Yeah, Breach. Thieves versus Breach. I have Thieves winning this.
I also have Thieves winning this. I think Thieves have the potential to make a run in this tournament. Agreed. As much as I fucking
can't count them out.
As much as I don't like them a lot of times, can't count them out. Even with the 1-4 qualifiers, I really don't weight it that heavy.
Yeah.
Like, because people try to expand map pool, people try to maybe change up gun classes or change up, or they have some ping shit going on. But for the most part, I'm not going to weight that too heavy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree. I think Thieves probably take
sure.
This one 3-0. Probably a close game, but a 3-0.
Yeah, agreed.
Next one we got. I think that's gonna be
FaZe.
Yeah.
FaZe versus Subliners.
FaZe Subliners. Yep.
Another, classic matchup.
Yeah, it's a good matchup.
Two good teams.
It's gonna be like the Hydra, Abizi.
Yeah.
To me though, it gets a little bit scary because I think NISL can take the hard points, and I think FaZe can take the S&Ds.
And that's why
Who's going to take the control, and I think it's going to get really sketch.
I think it's going to be FaZe going to take it, and I think it will be Game 5.
Yeah.
But I think FaZe.
I think FaZe takes Game 5, and it's going to be like one of those ones for NYSL where it's like, dude, if we just were a little bit better at control or S&D, then we would have got this one.
Dude, I feel like the Game 2 S&D is going to be a really close S&D. It's going to be like one of those things, or maybe somebody's even have a lead. Like they're up 4-2.
Well, if you remember the last time they played, BZ won before them and 1v3'd them, and that series goes a different way if NYSL just doesn't do what they did.
Agreed.
Going to losers round 2 or 3 now. We have, I believe it's just going to be the Thieves versus Rocker. Yeah, Thieves versus Rocker.
Huh?
Thieves versus Rocker.
Yeah, right.
Because we'll do that one before the next one. Thieves versus Rocker. I think Thieves probably beat them on this one.
Yep.
Probably going to be a 3-1. Rocker probably still... Never mind. They're not stealing anything. This is 3-0.
3-0. I think Thieves, like I said, I mean, they're just a better team.
Well, I think some of the matchups are just a little lopsided. They're not going to play a really good team for a while.
Yeah.
So they're going to automatically make a deep run, and I don't think Rocker is going to have the firepower to take them out.
Yeah, I think the maps that the Thieves are good at are teams that... the maps that the Thieves are good at are the same maps that these other teams really like to play, but they just cannot beat.
It's just not to that level.
So either they pick the maps that they're comfortable with and lose those, or they pick the maps they're uncomfortable with and get outclassed by a better team.
Yep. It's just one of those, you can't do anything.
Yeah,
it's
same
too
thing.
late in the season.
Earlier, no shed of tears.
Yep.
You lost.
So Thieves won that one, probably 3-0, and that's going to send Rocker home. But you guys are going to get a good, 20, 30, 40 points.
Yeah.
Not bad. I'll take it. Could help your champs, right?
Yeah.
Next up should be FaZe versus... Where's FaZe playing? Am I tweak?
FaZe versus...
Ultra.
Yep. Another fucking...
Would it be Ultra?
Yeah.
No. Who do we took Legion... FaZe Legion. No. Yeah, FaZe Legion again.
Oh, shit. Damn.
Right, because we had Ultra...
Rematch,
yeah, we had Ultra beating Legion. So, yeah. This is going to be FaZe Legion. Back-to-back matchups.
You know what happens?
Legion, I gave you guys the benefit of the doubt the first time around. Rocking with FaZe, though. Kind of going to be the same series, except I think there's going to be situations that will go Legion's way in the first one. And then same thing for FaZe in the second. But yeah, FaZe won this one.
I think in my opinion, it would be a 3-1.
Yeah.
I think Legion actually would probably win the opening hard point, but then just lose S&D, lose control,
FaZe just completely
map
regain.
4, just derail them and send them home.
Next up, we got the Ultra. It should be Ultra versus Optic.
Yep, Ultra versus Optic.
Ultra versus Optic. I think in a best of 5 here, I think Optic probably take this.
Yep.
I think Optic need to get this winners bracket to grand finals run.
Agreed.
Because
to get the vetoes that we need
exactly
into the finals, and not because teams, especially just Thieves in specific, know how to play around the maps that we're good at,
especially when you
get them out, or at least push them to the second half of the series.
I think if we go winners against like Ultra or Thieves, if we actually go into grands from winners, I think we win both those. Deadass, straight up.
Agreed.
But yeah, anyways, Ultra Optic, I'm probably going to take this 1-3-1, similar like how it happened in online, because I think that was a really good matchup.
Agreed.
And I think I think we can outclass them in the hard points, and I think we can do the same thing in S&Ds. We just got to tighten it up a little bit.
And as long as we don't give them free maps, especially the best of 5, as long as we're not trying to chow them on one of their maps, I think we should be just fine.
Yep.
3-1 is my guess as well.
So yeah, so that's going to send Optic to the grand finals.
Yep.
The third straight time.
And send Legion
we're Optic
down
fans, call it what you want.
Yeah, whatever.
But we have things to back it up.
Yeah.
So.
But then that would drop Ultra down into elimination finals.
Yep. So that leaves us with Thieves.
FaZe versus Thieves, right?
FaZe versus Thieves, correct.
In round 4.
So that means, just to check up, is our final 4 is Optic, Ultra, FaZe and Thieves.
Yep, it's pretty
much our
stacked.
top 4 in our tier list. But yeah,
this
FaZe
is where
and
stuff gets
Thieves.
kind of interesting.
Yeah, FaZe and Thieves. Thieves have pretty much owned FaZe on LAN. I don't think it happens this time. I think FaZe probably take this 3-2. I think they prove why their S&D is the best again.
Yep. And I think their improvements to Hardpoint, I think they probably actually will steal map 1, and people are gonna be like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah.
But I think they will steal map 1, and then Masterclass and S&D come out, probably lose their control, and then actually I don't know. This could go game 5.
Yeah, to me, I think this is a game 5. I think control is going to be a complete toss up.
Yep.
If FaZe take the control, they probably win the series earlier. If not, 3-2.
Agreed.
FaZe take it 3-2.
FaZe.
That's going to leave us with FaZe versus Ultra. Another fucking just
bang out.
It's hard not to take FaZe here because they have better S&D and they could probably score pretty decent on Hardpoint.
And they'll have some momentum coming out of the Thieves matchup.
S&D wins chips.
This game.
We know S&D wins chips.
Always.
And
that's the mode that they're the best at.
And I'll take FaZe in a 3-2 again. Close series. Take both S&Ds. But, grand finals for me.
Optic versus FaZe.
Optic FaZe. It's a good matchup.
Jesus Christ.
But, that being said.
With that being said, Optic absolute fucking 5-0 masterclass. Call it, book it, ship it, put it in the fucking box, send it to Amazon Prime.
FaZe will win against Optic Texas in another grand final. FaZe will beat them, and it'll be a 4-3. S&D will win you the chip this time around. It's gonna be one of those things where it's like. It's a close series. It goes 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, and then 4-3. But I think FaZe win this one. So that's Optic in second place again.
Yeah.
And then but to me, this is gonna teach Optic tighten up the S&D. It's kind of our loose mode right now, along with control. And then I'm just gonna put it out there. I do think Optic win champs. Yeah. I do think they tighten up their S&D. Map pool's already there.
Yeah.
I do think FaZe do finally break the fucking mental curse against Optic in finals.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we go to champs. I think we win out champs. I think we play probably one of those top 4 teams in champs.
Yeah.
In grand finals.
I was trolling earlier. I do actually also agree that FaZe will probably win this. I think it's probably gonna go like 1-1, 2-2. Yeah. But then I think FaZe win the next 2.
Yep.
And at 4-2 6 games. I agreed. Like S&D is so heavily weighted in finals.
Yeah.
And
agreed.
I mean, and I think FaZe. Let's say they sell a game 2. I think they still come back and just win the rest. So.
Yeah. It sucks being an Optic fan saying that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
definitely hurts to the core, but gotta be realistic.
I mean, if they win one, I'd be fucking happy.
Yeah.
But I also do think if they do win this one, they go back to back.
Agreed.
Like almost locked.
I think a major win going into champs.
I do think if they do get another second,
boost.
It's gonna hurt them.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna feel like, dude, what are we doing wrong?
Yeah.
But I feel like there's gonna be a clear cut problem. It's gonna be the S&Ds. And I think they're going to probably get smoked in those S&Ds and realize, fuck, this is what we need.
It's going to be a wake-up call, slap in the face, bring you back down to earth, and set them on the best track possible for champs.
Agreed. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for for our bracket at the Toronto Ultra Major. I guess we didn't even talk about it being the Toronto Ultra Major.
Don't care.
But they did get third.
Don't care.
Scrappy, your fucking neck's long, dude. Fucking
long-ass neck.
Crazy. But, I mean, that's pretty much it, though. Like, I mean that's all we really have to say. Going back to our bets, we did hit. Really good.
Today.
We'll be coming out with a NBA episode or NBA podcast tomorrow.
Yep.
And this is going to be talking about today's game, Heat Celtics Game 3. I'm not going to spoil it if you don't know what's happening, but
you have to wait to find out and see in tomorrow's episode. And then also we will give a little bit of insight into the next game.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about some bet updates and picks for tomorrow's list of locks for those games.
Yeah.
Going in and just kind of talking about the series and how they're gonna go.
Yeah. And then next time we have a COD episode like this, will either be going into Champ Sunday, so probably on a Saturday.
Yep.
Or after the major's done.
Yep.
Just because it's easier to wrap up. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything else to say to you. Or
All right, bro.
That's
That's
it.
all I got, man.
As always, follow the YouTube. It's all down here.
Check
That's
all
all
those
you need to know.
socials. Check
And the
everything.
TikTok, shout out the TikTok though, because it's actually, we're posting a lot,
Yep.
giving everybody
everything on there.
bets every day. And,
Posting absolutely free squares.
yeah,
So everybody,
it's
by the
free
way.
cash, so
Free
why not
cash.
you? But yeah, make sure you guys drop a follow, like the videos. Appreciate
100%.
everything, and we'll see you guys
We're
in the next
signing
one.
out. See you.
See ya.